right, solving systems by substitution. It's been a while since we've done this, okay? Now we're gonna be looking at problems that look like this. So like number 9 is this system. It's 2 equations, okay? And we kind of learned two different sets of systems that we solved using substitution. So here where we have 2 equations where y equals something, here's what we do. We remember like, okay, if y equals this and y also equals this other thing, right? If these two y's, and they're the same y, these two y's are the same, right? So if it equals this and it also equals this, then what we can conclude is that, well, if y equals this thing and y also equals this thing and this thing, they must be equal, right? So we set up an equation that looks like this, where this thing and this thing are equal. And what happens is, if you notice, there's only x's on that right side, and what happens is that we then have an equation that we can solve for x. So we do that, because remember when we're looking for a solution to a system, it's an x value and a y value. So then once we've solved for x, we can take that x and we can plug x back in. And here's the thing, is we could just plug it into one equation, and then what we would do is we get an answer and we check it in the other equation. But actually, what's faster is to just plug x back in to both equations. If you just do that and you get the same y for both, then you're done and your answer is checked. Okay? This is how you get your y value. So let me just show you on number 9 what that looks like. Okay, so I take this and I take these 2 equations and I say, oh, well, this equals y and this also equals y. So I want to find out when these 2 y's are equal, what is this, what's this x going to be? So, and then here what I'm going to do is I notice, oh, there's x's on both sides, so I have to get all the x's to one side. This is 1x. I'm just going to put the 1 there to kind of make my life easier. I'm going to subtract this 1x off the right side, because remember, I can't have x's on both sides. So 3x minus 1x is 2x. This cancels. Now I'm going to get x by itself. Okay, and then I'm continuing, right? First I dealt with addition and subtraction, and now I'm dealing with multiplication and division. And I get x equals 3. Okay, so this is my x value. So this is half my answer, right? But in order to solve a system, I need both an x and a y value. So I'm going to take this x equals 3, and I'm going to plug it into both equations. So I'm taking both of these equations, and instead of x, I'm putting 3. Okay, on this side, I get 3 plus 13 is 16. Over here, I get 3 times 3 is 9, plus 7, and that equals 16. Okay, so my y value is also done, solved for. And so this is my x value, this is my y value, and then you might also be asked to write it like this as a point, x comma y. Okay, and you'll see in Edulastic, I'm asking you to put it as x equals and y equals, and then also in this format, just so you're comfortable with both formats.